Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. It's been a couple of years, actually just over 2 years since we did any kind of a review on any of the core belts. This is one of the ones that we reviewed back then, and I'm going to just show it to you for reference. But they sent us two new ones. They have a tactical series, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today. But the first thing I wanted to show you before we got into those new ones is you always wonder on the durability, and the only way you know really for durability is time. This belt here was one of the ones that we reviewed originally, and it was December 10th that we published the video, and Hammer had been wearing this for 7 months at that point non-stop. So now it's 2 years and 7+ months old, and I just want to show you the condition of it. So there are some scratches on the buckle, but that's really just leaning up into things. So, neither one of us, we both have these belts, and neither one of us is gentle with them. We don't deliberately try to wreck them, but we just wear them. We do what we're going to do and let life happen. So there's no attempt to be nice to them. If I take and turn the belt around, you'll see I'm going to hit a little wear area here. And it's some amount of scratching on the inside, but those are the tangs from Sneaky Pete. He often uses a Sneaky Pete. But on the outside of the leather, there's very little. There's a few scratches, but there's very little degradation. I come around a little bit more and you'll see a spot where an inside the waistband holster frequently goes. And it's really, this is the only spot where the leather is damaged at all. And you go around the rest of the belt, there's the occasional scuff, ran into a wall, who knows what. But overall, two plus years of daily abuse, and the belt is still in very good condition and still looks good. There's no reason at this point to replace this belt. These are the first gun belts either one of us have had that held up even that long. 6-7 months, at best a year, and a year mark on a lot of them. They're pretty ratty, but you're still holding out because you paid $70 for the thing. These core belts actually hold up quite well. Now, we don't have as much track record with these new tactical ones, but we'll be finding out, and of course we'll do a follow-up at some point. But this is their new tactical series. And just like the other ones, they do have it available in a gun belt variety, and they have it available in a fashion belt. This is the gun belt. And the gun belts are a little more rigid. You'll see they're kind of stiff and a little bit more rigid. But just like the leather ones, they are very comfortable. They fit well, they are rigid where they need to be, but they will contour to your body. Initially they're a little bit stiff, but they'll kind of break in a little bit. And they're quite comfortable. And a lot of gun belts are very uncomfortable. They come with a number of different buckles available. This one happens to be their X5 buckle. That one I was showing you on the brown belt was an X2, and inside the box I've got an X6. So when you go to their site, you have kind of a choice of buckles that, you could get one that really suits your desires and your needs. And they all work fundamentally the same. There's a track on the back of the belt, and they click in. And then there's a little button up under here that you hit to release it, to pull the belt out. And it's a really cool way to do it because when you're carrying guns, especially inside the waistband, gun in, gun out, it's often difficult to get the belt to the exact size that you want to have it at. So I've got the gun in, and I need to go out a little bit in order to accommodate that gun. And then it's time to take the gun out, put it either in an inside pocket holster or in the glove compartment of the car, depending on what's going on, and I need to bring it in. You get very, very granular adjustment on these so that you aren't having to go between holes or punch extra holes in the belt, or have a belt where a lot of fashion belts only come with 3, maybe 4 holes. So you can't get a combination that works for both the gun in and the gun out. The track is quite long on here. You can almost go between 2 different person sizes easily with this track. You just have more sticking out in the end. And then this little clip is meant to be able to hold the belt in place, and it's Velcro. So I can unzip it, I can change the tension of it. So this little loop is an optional thing you can put on or choose to not use. And with the Velcro, you can adjust the tension on it, how tightly it fits. You're going to want it to fit somewhat tight, otherwise it'll just slide off. And the end that you're not going to cut, because you are going to cut these belts, the end that you're not going to cut is beveled and smoothly finished. So it's not going to be wearing and fraying and everything else. And each one that you buy does come with a little storage bag. It's kind of a durable little bag. You can either use it for your belt, or you may find it useful for batteries for your scope or whatever. Now let's open up the box of what they sent with us. They sent 2 of these, and I wanted to have one pre-assembled so I could show it to you, and so I could also make sure I was going to be good at doing it when I actually showed you how to do it live. But it comes well packaged. The belt is in a sleeve, and each of the pieces is in a sleeve. It comes with the bag underneath, and the belt was tucked, or the buckle was tucked up in the corner here, and this was underneath everything, so that you're not going to have it in transit slapping around along with this little wrench. It's not going to be in transit slapping around and beating itself up. They had it well packaged so everything stayed put. I kind of repackaged it so it looked cool when I opened up the box. But here is that X6 buckle, and it's really just going to come down to what do you like. It's going to be personal preference. You buy whatever buckle you want, and they're interchangeable. On the gun belt buckles, you'll see there's 2 screws here, and these screws secure it. On the fashion versions, the buckle will look similar, but you won't have the screws. The fashion and the gun belts components are not interchangeable because the fashion belts are a little thinner, and you'll see the teeth there, and then the front end of the buckle. And this will be how it'll sit when it's actually on you. Here's the loop. This one's matching the tan belt. The other one I took out was black. They supply the Allen wrench for those screws, so you don't have to worry about, am I going to have a wrench for it? If you're giving this as a gift to somebody, you know, it is Christmas time at the point we're publishing this, you don't have to worry about whether they're going to have the tools. And it comes with very detailed instructions, including the instructions on how to measure your waist and how to cut and how to assemble it, so that it's very, very easy to do. You really don't have to have excellent mechanical skills to do this. Then the belt itself, pull it out of the sleeve here. I may have to adjust the audio on that. That may be annoying on the camera. But you'll see one edge is kind of ragged, and that's not a problem. That's not a design defect. That's the part that's going to go into the buckle. The other end of it is smooth, tapered, and finished. So you do, before you start cutting on this thing, you want to make sure you're cutting on the right end, which is fairly easy to accomplish because you'll see that there's numbers. And those numbers correspond to the waist size. Turn it. Now you only need to use these once during the initial assembly process, so you don't have to worry about how easy they are to see. It's not something that you use repeatedly. But in general, you will cut it about 4 inches longer than your waist, and that should give you enough room. But when in doubt, make sure you cut longer. You can cut more, but you can't cut less. Once that extra piece that hangs off is no longer needed afterwards. So all I'm going to do now to assemble the belt is I'm going to back these screws out. I'm not going to completely remove them. It's easier if I leave them in there. But all I'm going to do is look down the barrel of it and make sure that they're recessed. I may turn it a little bit more, just so they're out of the way. And then you want to make sure that you have the belt on correctly. And you can use regular scissors, of course. So I'm going to turn this so like I would be wearing it, which means flipping it around this way, so that I make sure I put the buckle on the correct way. I don't want to have the buckle turned backwards. Flip the lever up so that the teeth are sticking out. Slide the belt in. Adjust it a little bit if you need to get it centered. And all I did is I took my fingers and flipped this flap around and latched it. And of course you also want to make sure it's all the way back in before you latch this. If you do make a mistake, you can get your finger up under here, you can unlatch it and readjust it. And then you just take and you drive these screws down. And it doesn't matter which order you do them in. And do the other one. And they just run down flush. And they'll hold the whole thing in place, they'll hold it solid, and they'll ensure that it doesn't drop out, and because they go flush, they're not going to snag on your clothes and tear up the front of your pants. At this point, you now have the belt ready to go. And of course, if you choose to put this on, you could either put it on before you assemble the belt. You can use the Velcro to unvelcro it and put it on. Or you can just slide it all the way around, the long way around. But if I put this on here now, it looks nice, it looks clean and smooth, and holds the belt in place, whether or not your pant loops are in the right place to hold the belt in. And of course, it's optional whether you use that or not. And you get a nice looking belt buckle. So I want to thank Core Essentials at coreessentials.com for sending these to us. I have every expectation these are going to be as comfortable and hold up as well as the other ones that we've had for over 2 years. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, Patreon, Gunstreamer, Twitter. We're kind of all over the place. And thank you.